Command has been given. Crank him up.
Let's go. When I say I don't know, I don't know.
Let's go, baby.
Now, the morning drive.
Buckle up, everybody.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
It's a game changer.
I listen to you guys every single day on my way to work.
Well, again, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on the radio.
You guys are amazing.
What are you doing over there?
I'm going to the top.
The morning drive with Mike Bagley and Pete Pistone.
To the bat balls.
Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, live and on the air for this Monday, February 27th, 2023. Mike Bagley here in Del Marvella, Studio 1D. We've got Pistol Pete Pistone in the Paisan Palace in Chicago. We've got Sammy and Davey in Studio 134 of the Beltway Bureau in our nation's capital. We welcome each and every one of you to this Monday morning, the day after a doubleheader at the Auto Club Speedway. Final race on the 2-mile Auto Club Speedway layout for the NASCAR Cup Series. A lot of twists and turns, but at day's end, it was a familiar driver celebrating in Ruoff Mortgage Victory Lane again at Auto Club.
From Auto Club Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
Green flag goes in the air, and we're racing at Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. Christopher Bell, the pole center, opts for the outside lane, and he'll head to turn one.
Trouble for Kyle Larson. Back straightaway was in a battle with Christopher Bell off of turn number 2. That car has suddenly slowed and is on the apron of the racetrack.
Right in the middle of the corner, Logano bobbled just a little bit. Ross Chastain on the outside, and he'll retake the lead down the back straightaway.
They are side by side for the race lead into the corner. Now Joey Logano back out front. Ryan Blaney right there looking on from position number 3.
Lead change number 4 just took place in front of Dan Hubbard.
It was Ryan Blaney absolutely obliterating Joey Logano into turn 1. Trouble down the back straightaway. One car is completely sideways, lots of white smoke, and it looks like he's going to come to a stop without hitting the inside wall. It's so much smoke I can't pick up a number on the car, but it went completely sideways right just before the middle of the back straightaway.
Brad Keselowski, the driver who made the spin up off of turn number 2.
A penalty being handed out by NASCAR. Kyle Busch busted for speeding here on lap number 43.
Dude, it's so not right.
Lap number 65 about to go into the record book. Ross Chastain would like to lead it and pick up his second stage win of the year, and he'll do exactly that.
Got the fastest tractor in the farm field, fastest car on track here. Got really loose into that run. I'm asking for some more rear grip.
Let's follow Kyle Busch. He's on the inside of the racetrack, Dan, and going the wrong way.
Kyle Busch is falling. He's lost about 3 spots. Tries to make up a little bit of ground in the middle of the turns 1 and 2. Gets by Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr., but he is struggling. Here comes Denny Hamlin, feeling a serious challenge from Joey Logano.
Now a challenge for the lead. Denny Hamlin goes all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack to try to block Logano. Can't do it, headed to 1.
Logano, a full head of steam into turn 1. He's got the lead. Denny Hamlin gets drop kicked back to the second spot.
The field
Trouble,
singles
looks
out.
like it might be A.J. Allmendinger in a spin. It is A.J. Allmendinger, and he's going to make contact with the inside retaining wall. He got sideways right in the middle of the backstretch and tried to lock up all 4 tires, but just simply could not get the car stopped.
The tire just broke free from the Martin Truex Jr. car here on the back straightaway. The tire will roll to the inside of the racetrack. Truex will continue his limp around to the pit lane.
Green flag goes back in the air, and there's contact. Ty Dillon goes around. Eric Almirola's in the crash. Ryan Blaney's in the mix. Ryan Preece is crashing as well. Christopher Bell gets a big chunk of it. This happened late in the Geico restart zone.
The field makes their way back into turn 1. It's Denny Hamlin with the nose out in front. Here comes Joey Logano right in the center of the corner, so they're dead even. William Byron's going to make it 3 wide. He goes down to the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain also there.
The third place running car right now is Joey Logano, and he too is on the radio complaining. He believes he may have a loose wheel on that Ford Mustang. Postman, you're listening to his radio. What are they saying?
Yeah, he has been reporting about a vibration on the front half of the car, so he's not sure which side at this point.
Trying to do exactly what he did in stage number 1, and that's steal the victory. He's going to do it easily here in stage 2. Chastain across the line. Green and white checkered flag is out.
Green flag goes back in the air. Kevin Harvick, the race leader, from the outside lane, tries to get away from Kyle Busch.
The California boy, Kevin Harvick, tries to lead the field into turn 1. one. It's not going to happen as Ross Chastain gives Kyle Busch the boot. So Kyle Busch gets pushed into the top spot. Kevin Harvick goes to second. They're side by side for third. Ross Chastain and Joey Logano.
Boy, it is on right now. Ross Chastain with a power move going into one. Kyle Busch retaliates with a big-time move off two. And how about this? Three wide at the line. Logano virtually in the grass as he goes to the apron.
Two Chevys, one Ford going at it for the top spot. Logano leads the field into turn one. Kyle Busch has finally pulled the trigger down to the inside of Ross Chastain. Kyle Busch takes the lead. Here comes the crossover move from Chastain. And it might work. Side by side for the top spot off turn two.
Here they come, and they're both going to go right to the bottom of the racetrack, and they're coming off the racetrack to pit lane. Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain slow down. They'll hit 55 miles per hour. Green flag pit stops for the race leader and second place.
Michael McDowell is the race leader, may be content to run that Sunoco fuel right out and hope for a late caution. But Kyle Busch, though, is running him down. He may pass him for a lead in another lap. He's going to pass him right now, as a matter of fact. Kyle Busch out front.
Kyle Busch can see the checkered flag from here.
His first win came here. His 61st win will come here at the Auto Club Speedway for Kyle Busch. New driver, new organization combination, and it turns out to be a winning combination as Kyle Busch has scored the win in the Paula Casino 400.
Hell yeah. Welcome to RCR, baby. First of many.
Yeah, baby! Woo! Hell yeah! Way to go, boys! Awesome. Hell of a job, man. Hell of a job, everybody. Great job, pit crew. Daddy, heck yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. Great job.
That's how it sounded yesterday at the Auto Club Speedway, the final race on the 2-mile layout at day's end. It was Kyle Busch and Richard Childress Racing. They've only been together for 2 points-paying races, Petey, and the second one is already paid off with a win.
Pretty fitting, right? He gets his first win at that racetrack, and now his 61st win comes at that racetrack, and his first start at that racetrack for Richard Childress Racing. So a lot of symmetry there, a lot of synergy there. And, you know, when you think about it, Mike, a lot of us said going into the year, how soon will the gelling happen between Kyle Busch and Richard Childress Racing? It's happened pretty quickly, right? Almost won the Daytona 500, and here the second week out, there he is in victory lane in the 8-car yesterday afternoon at Auto Club Speedway.
And I think that's what a lot of people forget about. Kyle was about to win the 500, got swept up into a crash at the end last weekend, and then yesterday, flexing muscle late in the going and rising to the occasion, literally. And I would say that of all the changes we've had in the offseason, this one seems to have taken quick. It seems like that everything has congealed quite nicely. Now, granted, we've only raced on a super speedway. We've only raced on a 2-mile worn racetrack. We've got Las Vegas coming up. We've got Phoenix coming up. We've got Atlanta, the rest of the season coming up. But I would say things are off to a great start over with the A-team at RCR right now.
Well, absolutely. And all the numbers that went with yesterday that we just talked about. First win came there, 61st career win came there. 19 straight seasons now. Kyle Busch has at least one win in the Cup Series. That breaks the record held by Richard Petty. 95th win for Kyle Busch. He and Kurt Busch now have the most wins of any brother combination in the Cup Series. So the numbers keep coming, Baggy, but the performances was there, certainly there. He and Randall Burnett had everything figured out there at the end. Chase Elliott starting to chop down a little bit of that lead late, but once Kyle was out in front, it was just Katie bar the door, sails in the wind, however you want to pick, whatever line you want to pick, and there goes the 8-car to victory lane yesterday to celebrate at Auto Club Speedway. On a day, quite frankly, where a lot of folks thought we weren't going to be racing after what happened earlier in the weekend, and the whole 400 miles got in with Kyle Busch the winner.
Well, you mentioned Chase Elliott. What about them? They were able to respond. They made gains throughout the day. I don't think anybody had anything to challenge Kyle Busch. Chase Elliott came close, and I would say that Chase Elliott Nation, Alan Gustafson, Chase, Mr. H, Hendrick Motorsports, got to be happy with what they had, not necessarily to go toe-to-toe with Kyle, but to stay literally in the same draft as Kyle.
Well, I would say half the Hendrick stable you got to be happy about, and the other half not so much, and we'll get there. But certainly with Chase Elliott, especially Mike, with Chase starting all the way literally near the back of the field yesterday because the qualifying got rained out, so the metrics of the finish in the Daytona 500 determined the starting lineup, and Chase had to come from the 33rd starting position. So he was able to maneuver his way from the back of the field basically to the front of the field. So no such thing as moral victories in NASCAR, I understand that, but considering how bad the Daytona 500 went for that team and where he started yesterday, yeah, if I'm a member of Chase Elliott's large group of fans out there, I got to feel pretty good about a second-place finish.
Well, you teased the weather. Saturday was absolute misery in the Inland Empire. They had snow, of all things. It reminded us of
nuts.
Bristol, Richmond. I never thought I would see snow at Auto Club Speedway in Southern California. And that forced the punting of the Xfinity Series race to last night. And it looks like that they got more bad weather coming at. It seems like we dip in, we're able to get our work done, and then we've already left. We're focused on Las Vegas, but weather weekend challenges seem to punctuate the storylines coming into Saturday and obviously yesterday.
Well, two things out of that. One, yes, weather challenges, second race weekend of the season, but the extreme weather challenges, to your point. I mean, snowing in Southern California, snowflakes at the Hollywood sign I saw. Downtown Pasadena had snow on the ground, and yet somehow they almost got the Xfinity. Well, they did start the race on Saturday, right, and got it all in yesterday. Pace laps. They thought about, a lot of folks were thinking about me being one of them. Then, okay, that didn't work. What about the weepers? And really, there was a little of that, but not enough to make a problem, thank goodness. So shout out to all you out there that said NASCAR has no business even trying to race on Sunday. What are they doing? They're wasting everybody's time. At the end of the day, 700 miles went on the board yesterday at Auto Club Speedway, Bagman. How about that?
That's why we don't call races 2 days out. Lots can change in the forecast. It did, although Sunday was the best day of the whole lot that we had out there. And we were able to get in those 700 miles with the NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Matter of fact, when we come back, you'll hear from the top finishers in the Paula Casino 400. Also still to come, headline check number 1. We will engage in checker flags and black flags. You can get yours in at 866-PIT-LANE. You can also tweet them to us at SiriusXM NASCAR, hashtag TMD NASCAR. At 8:50 this morning, we'll have the calendar. Coming up at 9, we'll visit with Jordan Bianchi of The Athletic. About 20 after 9 this morning, we'll recap the Xfinity Series race that was held last night. We'll also recap our picks and our prop bets. And then the fourth and final hour, we'll run you back through it again. Plus, bring in Danielle Trott and Larry McReynolds for a preview of SiriusXM's On Track. We've got a jam-packed morning here on this Monday morning, February 27th, and we are so glad you are along for the ride here on TMD, which is brought to you in part by our friends at Boot Barn. Boot Barn, proud supporters of the West.